Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are following the epic journey of a simple pill. We're going to uncover the amazing science behind how it's designed to navigate the super complex world inside your body to get its job done.
So let's just start with a question you've probably asked yourself at some point. How in the world does a tiny aspirin tablet know how to find your headache? It's not like it's some miniature GPS-guided missile, right? The real story is actually way cooler and way more clever.
You know, it really isn't magic, but it kind of feels like it. It's a story all about brilliant scientific design. Every single pill is engineered to take on this massive obstacle course inside of you, and whether it succeeds or fails all comes down to its chemical makeup.
Okay, let's pull back the curtain on the first stage of this wild ride. In the world of drug science, this obstacle course has a name. They call it the ADME gauntlet. And believe me, every single drug has to run it.
So, ADME. It sounds a little technical, but it's really just the life story of a drug in 4 parts. It stands for absorption, how it gets in; distribution, where it goes; metabolism, how it gets broken down; and finally, excretion, how it leaves. If you can get a handle on these 4 letters, you've got a backstage pass to pharmacology.
And this diagram right here, it's basically our map of the whole journey. You can see the pill's entire path. You swallow it, it gets absorbed, it travels around the body to find what it's looking for, gets processed, and then it's shown the door. It's a complete, really fascinating round trip.
Now, each of these stages is a whole story on its own. But for today, we're going to zoom in on that very first supercritical step, absorption. I mean, think of it like this. If the drug can't even get in the front door and into your bloodstream, the show's over before it even started. So, how does a drug actually make that jump from your stomach into your bloodstream? Well, it has to get through this incredible barrier, basically a wall made of millions and millions of tiny cells. And this is where the real challenge begins.
These cell membranes are the gatekeepers of your body. Seriously, you can think of them like bouncers at the most exclusive club in town. They have a very strict list, and they do not just let any old molecule wander on in. To get past these tough gatekeepers, a drug needs the perfect disguise. It needs a special kind of chemical passkey, and that passkey is being electrically neutral or unionized. See, if it has an electrical charge, if it's ionized, it's like trying to get into that club with a giant flashing neon sign. It just gets stuck. But the neutral form, it can just slip right on by. And this picture just makes it so clear. On the left, you've got that neutral molecule with its passkey ready to just waltz right through. But look at the right. The second it gets an electrical charge and becomes ionized, bam, the gate slams shut. It's game over for that little guy.
So, what is it that decides whether a drug has its passkey or not? Well, it's definitely not random. It's a predictable and, frankly, fascinating chemical tug-of-war. Let's dive into that.
Which brings us to the big question, right? What flips the switch? What determines if a drug molecule is in that neutral, ready-to-go form, or if it's in its charged, blocked form, stuck outside?
It all boils down to a battle between 2 things. First, the drug's built-in chemical personality, a value we call its pKa. Think of this as something about the drug that never, ever changes. And second, the environment it's in, the pH or acidity of its location, which, can be wildly different between the acid bath of your stomach and the much calmer intestine.
Okay, now you're looking at something that might seem a little scary, the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. But don't let the name freak you out. We are not here to do math. We're here for the story this equation tells us. It's basically the official rulebook for that chemical tug-of-war we were just talking about.
So here's the key takeaway. This equation is like a crystal ball for scientists. They can plug in the drug's pKa and the environment's pH, and they can predict, with amazing accuracy, what percentage of the drug molecules will have that passkey and be ready to get absorbed. It turns biology from a mystery into predictable, powerful science.
All right, enough theory. Let's put this into practice with a real-world example I'm pretty sure is in your house right now, aspirin. Let's see how this all plays out on a journey we all know. So here's the secret to aspirin's success. It's a weak acid, and its unchangeable chemical personality, its pKa, is 3.5. Remember that number. It's the key that unlocks its entire trip through your body.
This table just lays it all out perfectly. When aspirin lands in the super acidic environment of your stomach, where the pH is somewhere between 1 and 3.5, it's a perfect match for its pKa of 3.5. So what happens? The equation tells us it will be almost entirely unionized, neutral.
It's got its passkey, so it gets absorbed really well. But as it moves into the less acidic intestine, the whole balance shifts. It becomes charged, and its absorption just drops off a cliff.
So the stomach's acidic environment is the perfect stage for aspirin. It allows the molecule to keep its neutral disguise, slip right past those cellular bouncers, and make its big entrance into the bloodstream. That's where it needs to be to start doing its job.
Okay, so now let's zoom out and see how this incredible understanding of a drug's journey isn't just about explaining old drugs, it's the absolute foundation for designing the smarter, more targeted medicines of the future. Yeah, this stuff isn't some happy accident. It's all about brilliant design. Medicinal chemists are like master locksmiths. They can carefully engineer the pKa of new drugs, choosing specific chemical parts to make sure the drug gets its passkey in exactly the right part of the body. And this is why this science is just so powerful. It gives us incredible precision. I mean, imagine making drugs that only get absorbed in the intestine, so you don't get an upset stomach. Or engineering molecules that can sneak across the super selective blood-brain barrier to treat diseases like Alzheimer's. This is the future of medicine. More effective treatments with fewer side effects for all of us.
And all of this leaves us with a really exciting question. Now that we basically have the power to chemically choreograph a medicine's journey through the body, what's next? What new frontiers can we conquer? What diseases that maybe we once thought were untouchable are now within our reach? The possibilities are just as vast and complex as the human body itself.